today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Hiya Toys Alien Colonial Marines, the Power Loader. Spot in this series of previous videos, we've been having a look at the Colonial Marines from the folks over at Hiya Toys. Now we're going to have a look at the Power Loader. I am very excited about getting this opened up because we have a 3 3/4 inch scaled Power Loader. Not only can it accommodate really the existing figures that we've had a look at, but it could really accommodate 3 3/4 inch figures as a whole. That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to getting this opened up. Down below, we've got some artwork of what the Power Loader will look like. Kind of looks strange not having anybody in the cockpit area. On the side, though, we have Exquisite Mini with a whole ton of aliens there. And then on the back, shows you what the Power Loader will look like. To check out more from the folks over at Hiya Toys, be sure to head over to www.hiya.toys.com. Also indicated on the side, there's a choking hazard as some small parts are not recommended for kids under 3 years of age. It's recommended for ages 14 and up. Spot's going to take a break. I'm really looking forward to getting this opened up. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Power Loader from the Alien Colonial Marines Hiya Toys line. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Now that we got the Power Loader out of packaging, let's get a better look at it. Now, just before we do that, let's have a look at the display stand that comes included with it. Looking at it from first glance, it would look as if it's one floorboard, but it's not until you flip it upside down that you actually realize it's the same stands as what we've gotten with all the other figures, and they just simply have joined them together. I do like the consistency with these, as if you take, like say for example, we've already had a look at 3 of them, and we had them put together in the last video. So really, you could, in any number of formations or configurations, you could just continue to add on to these until you have a giant diorama. I really like that because there's so much mixing and matching in the sense of where you want to put them. You know, you could, well, I guess you can only put them in certain formations, but like even these ones here, you could line the 2 up, and where you couldn't get a middle panel before, these panels here would keep everything together. So you could kind of offset them as well, which I do like. So I'll put those to the side. We'll put this just to the side here. And let's have a look at the Power Loader. Now, I've been really excited. When I first found out that Hiya Toys was releasing a 3 3/4 inch line of Alien Marines figures, I was already excited. But then when I found out they were coming out with a Power Loader scaled for 3 3/4 inch figures, I was through the roof. I literally, well, not maybe literally, but I was excited, extremely excited to see this in hand. In hand, it looks really good. It's a little on the, not fragile side, but it does feel like it's very fragile. It's not to say that I have any issues with it. One of the elbows or one of the little side arms is a little on the loose side, which I'm sure I could probably try to straighten out. This other side, it's not so much of an issue. But there are some areas on it that are a little problematic for not necessarily display purposes, but certainly in the sense of, you know, playing with them. The geek in me looked at these and I thought, man, I'd like to get like 12 of these and just have a whole diorama. Maybe bring out the old G.I. Joes, dust them off, so to speak, get them going inside the, you know, the Power Loaders here and have them fighting some alien threat. And I guess I could still do that, but very, very cool. I love these. I really like how this turned out. Again, I wish it was a little on the more stiffer side, at least on the one elbow joint, but everything else seems pretty good on it. The paint, they've given almost a dirtied, dingy look to it, especially like the lower areas of the legs. It's not quite yellow. It's more like a brownish, a very light brownish yellow. Some little details there where you can see just all the dirt that's built up there. There's N1725. You got 4 little arrows there on the side, some little red accents. Of course, the hazard striping down on the feet. There's the underside of the feet right there. All these little pistons. Some of the pistons don't really move because there's really nothing functional on that part of the arm anyways. All these little hoses, the couple of pistons on the back. There's even a light up at the top there that doesn't light up, but it's there. In its posability options, I'll kind of show you that, and then we'll try to get one of the Marines in there. Okay, so what you have is everything you could think should move, theoretically does move, but a little on the iffy side. The one arms, or the arms themselves, do move. They are on ball joints. Now, one ball joint isn't so bad. It hinges out. There's a little hinge right there that allows the arm to hinge out, as well as a full rotation all the way around. This other arm, on the other hand, to rotate it, it's very squeaky, and I was a little worried that it was going to break, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with this. Still has the hinge though, no issues there. The elbows, and that's one of the issues also with it, the elbows do bend, no issues there. The cockpit, I actually wanted to talk about this later. Maybe I'll get that to stay there for a second. Elbows do bend. This little joint here hinges. That rotates inward like that. And as you would probably have hoped, these little pincers slide as well. But you do have to be very careful when sliding and not applying too much pressure to these. But as you can see, they do open and close. Just be very careful. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. That's what you don't want to be doing. Maybe it's easier to actually just hold them from the sides and pull them out like that. But they do open and close, so I like that. Then when you get to the legs themselves, the legs hinge. There is actually a knee hinge on the legs themselves. And then also there's a pivot point, a little pivot rocking on the leg or foot area, if you want to call it that, of the power loader. So the power loader as a whole, it's not bad. I really like it. I love the design. I love the fact that it can incorporate smaller figures. Just a little iffy on some areas where I just feel like it's a little on the sensitive side. One of the issues, unfortunately, I have with the power loader is that the cockpit area, this little roll cage, pops off a lot. And to get it on there, there's basically just these 6 holes. It lines up, but I find it lines up better from the bottom. And then the top, you have to do just a little bit of adjusting, but I find these don't sit. They don't sit in these supplied holes. Or if they do, the last thing you want to do is start putting pressure on something that's just a frame. So the best thing I could say is just attach it from the bottom, and maybe not so much worry that these aren't attaching as much to the top, because if you try to adjust it too much, I find the cage is problematic to popping off. Okay, so there's the power loader. We're going to go ahead and grab a figure. I'm going to grab my favorite figure from what we've looked at. That's Quintero. We're going to go ahead and take the hand off, or take the firearm off. Let's go ahead and pop the roll cage off. And what you're going to want to do is slide the figure as easy as you figure it would be. Make sure the legs are spread far enough. Slide the figure's legs down, like that. And there are kind of handles on the sides, but not really. You can do your best to try to bring the arms out, like that. Make sure the back is as far back as you can get it. And like these little joysticks presumably do go up, but there's not really anything, there's not enough to catch onto the hands, if that makes any sense. The hands really don't sit into those little joysticks, so what I ultimately usually just do is I have the arms just close enough that it looks as if it could theoretically have the Marine holding them. Then do your best to fit the roll cage back over. Again, attaching it from the bottom. The tops, maybe not so much. But there you have one of the Marines riding the power loader. Looks good. I'm thrilled just by the sheer virtue that a 3 3/4 inch figure can sit in a power loader. We have larger power loaders that have been released for 6-inch figures, but we really haven't released much in the way of ones to accommodate 3 3/4 inch figures. And that is why I like this line so much. I will admit though, this is not something that you could spend a lot of time playing with. I wouldn't necessarily give these to this particular power loader I wouldn't give to a child, just because I do worry about little things such as, you know, this rotates too much of the elbow joints, and eventually it could break. I would say though, for an adult collector, definitely, if you can pick these up, if anything, pick up the power loaders, just because the power loader is so very cool. I just want to see, I'd love to see how they approach other vehicles, if that's ever something that they would consider. In the meantime though, today's collectible spot, I love this. We're having a look at the Aliens Colonial Marines power loader from Hiya Toys. Stay tuned guys, Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.